This is probably one of the finest, nay, the finest game ever to fail miserably on sales charts. So fine, in fact, that we're, after all these years, finally getting a sequel. I would like to present to you one of my personal favorite games ever, Beyond Good and Evil.
Every now and again, a game comes out that doesn't really get the attention it deserves. So listen up, as we bring you a title that went under the radar.
This was an amazing game that was released on all three last-gen consoles and the PC, and just in time for Christmas of 2003 as well. Now unfortunately, it wasn't hyped enough, and couldn't compete with the two behemoths released at the same time, Prince of Persia and Splinter Cell. And here's the curious thing, they are all three Ubisoft titles. What's going on, guys? Beyond Good and Evil follows the story of Jade, who was probably named such because of her vibrant green eyes. Oh, but Jade decided to take it a step further. She wears green pants, a green jacket, green headband, and yes, green lipstick. Nobody in the real world could pull off a feat like that, but she does. Which begs the question, does she really love green that much, or does she simply feel obligated because of her name? I don't know. If my name was Dick, never mind, whatever. Jade is a freelance reporter who runs a lighthouse on the mining planet Hillis. The lighthouse is a shelter for children who have been orphaned as a result of the vicious attacks of the Doms. The Doms are an alien race that have been warring with Hillis for ages. Protecting Hillis is the propaganda-fueled military force called Alpha Section. When Jade runs out of money to power the force field protecting the lighthouse and the children inside, she takes up a job that turns out to be more than what it seems and leads to a radical change in Jade's life. Through a series of quick events, Jade is introduced to and becomes a part of an underground rebel group of journalists called the Iris Network. Their mission? To unveil the conspiracy about the war between the Doms and Alpha Section and free the galaxy of the sun-ending terror. Who's telling the truth? Who can you trust? Something is fishy, and it's your job to find out what. Now, I won't ruin it by telling you the rest of the story, but trust me, it's good. The gameplay in Beyond Good and Evil covers a lot of territory. There's action, stealth, puzzle solving, racing, shooting, and photography? Oh, that's right. Your main source of income in the game is taking pictures of all the various life forms on Hillis and selling them to an interested buyer. With that money and special orbs you collect, you can purchase recovery items and upgrades for your kick-ass hovercraft. You'll also use your camera to obtain photos that will help expose the lies and secrets around every corner. But wait, let's back up a second. Did I say hovercraft? Hell yeah, I did. Not only do you travel in this slightly floating vehicle of greatness, but there are also racing minigames and combat you'll get to take this bad boy through. But come on, any game where you zip around town in a hovercraft with guns is a game I want to get my hands on. The other aspects of gameplay are solid, but they don't really make waves. The action's pretty simple, the stealth is basic, the puzzles aren't exactly brain busters, but on the whole, they combine to make a really memorable experience. Now I want to reiterate that these are not subpar, they just don't stand out as anything super spectacular. And the combat is pretty simple enough. Jade is a master of the Daijo, which is the cool energy stick of pain that she twirls and swings well enough to make anyone second guess messing with her. Now you only control Jade, but you also have two other characters assisting you at various times. There's Paige, a boar-like man guy that helps Jade with the orphans and is an ace mechanic, and Double H, a strongly built ex-army operative for the Iris Network. While you don't have direct control over either character, you can give them basic commands to try and solve puzzles, and they assist in combat as well. Now, overall, the gameplay comes together pretty well, but where Beyond Good and Evil really shines is in its story, graphics, and sound, and they all complement each other. The story is really well written and heartfelt. It's easy to care about the characters, which isn't the case in a lot of games. Even the anthropomorphic characters, like Jade's Uncle Paige, have very real human emotions that we can identify with. Jade's facial expressions say it all. When she's distraught, we can see her face sink. As she lights up when she's happy and scowls when she's mad, and they're all believable. Aside from the character models, which are great, all of Hillis is gorgeously rendered and a joy to look at. Seriously, this game is beautiful. But let's not forget the music, sound, and voice acting, all of which are superb. The music is very well done and fits perfectly the situation, whether it's a combat mission, creeping through a factory, or just walking through a bar. The soundtrack is fantastic and unforgettable. Now the sound effects are complete and immersive and really make you feel like you're part of the world you're playing in. What really hits the mark, however, is the voice acting. The cast is perfect for their roles. And something that impressed me, and even now isn't a sure bet in all games, is the acting ability. Their emotions and inflections really come across as genuine, which enables me to give myself over to the story and really feel like a part of it. And that's important when you've got such a well-written script. All in all, Beyond Good and Evil is not a perfect game, but it definitely gets closer than a lot of titles. And if you love adventure, action, and mystery, all wrapped up into one tasty burrito, then you need to sink your teeth into this game. It's delicious.